This is the story about a doctor, a husband, a father, and behind it all, one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history. For more than 20 years, Harold Shipman was trusted by hundreds of patients across the UK, but beneath the surface, he was hiding a secret no one could have imagined. This is the chilling story of Dr. Death and how he walked among us for decades, completely undetected. Harold Frederick Shipman was born in 1946 in Nottingham, England. From the outside, his early life seemed ordinary. He was quiet, academically strong, and disciplined. But there were signs, subtle, unsettling signs. Shipman was particularly close to his mother, Vera. When she fell seriously ill with cancer, Harold watched as a local doctor administered morphine to ease her pain. He was just 17 when she passed away, but those final moments left an impression that would shape his path forever. Years later, he would choose that very same profession, a healer. At least that's what everyone thought. In the early 1970s, Harold Shipman began his career as a general practitioner. He was calm, professional, and seemingly devoted to his patients, most of whom were elderly and trusted him completely. He made house calls, remembered birthdays, and offered reassurance with a soft voice and a steady hand. But behind that calm demeanor, something else had begun. Patients began to pass away, quietly in their homes, often shortly after Shipman had visited. It wasn't just once, it was again and again and again. Still, no one questioned him. He was, after all, a doctor, a man of respect, and that trust would become his greatest weapon. For over 2 decades, Harold Shipman operated without suspicion. But in 1998, everything changed, because of a single signature. Kathleen Grundy was a healthy, active 81-year-old and a well-known former mayor. When she passed away suddenly after a visit from Shipman, her daughter, a lawyer, was stunned. What raised even more concern was a will, one that left almost everything to Harold Shipman. The signature didn't match, the story didn't add up, and for the first time, someone asked a question. Grundy's body was exhumed. The results confirmed what no one wanted to believe. And when police began reviewing other cases, the scale of what they uncovered was beyond comprehension. Once the investigation began, the numbers grew fast and terrifying. The police started combing through records. Dozens of deaths were re-examined. Patterns emerged. Elderly patients, unexpected deaths, all visited by the same man, often shortly before they passed. And all declared natural causes, with no autopsy. The more they looked, the clearer it became. Shipman had written the cause of death himself, again and again. In January 2000, Harold Shipman was found guilty of 15 murders. But an independent inquiry later linked him to the deaths of more than 200 people, possibly more. At his trial, he showed no remorse, no emotion, just silence. The courtroom was packed. The families wanted answers, but Shipman gave them nothing. In 2004, just 4 years into his life sentence, Harold Shipman was found dead in his prison cell. He had taken his own life, the night before his 58th birthday. For many, his death brought no closure. There was no confession, no final answer, only silence. Families were left without truth. The full number of his victims may never be known, and the man at the center of it all took his secrets with him. The Harold Shipman case didn't just shock the public, it shook the foundation of the medical profession in the UK. How could one man, for over 2 decades, kill without suspicion? How many lives were lost under the assumption of trust? Following the case, the British government overhauled medical procedures. Death certification processes changed. Oversight tightened, but the scar remains. Shipman abused the very thing that defines medicine trust, and that's what makes this case so terrifying. He didn't kill in the shadows. He did it in plain sight. If this case shocked you, you're not alone. Let us know in the comments. Do you think someone like Harold Shipman could still exist today?